Assalamu alaikum. Today we will talk about the teaching strategies. In this lecture, we will talk about teaching strategies in two types of level. As we know that there is difference between when we are teaching to our students at classroom level or we are teaching them at the clinical setup in hospital or at the clinical level. So we will talk about what are the teaching strategies at both the classroom level as well as at the clinical setup. And not only we will discuss them briefly, but we will also talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each teaching strategy, as well as we will also talk about the different tactics or different key to success when we are going to deal our students with these strategies. So initially we will talk about the teaching strategies which we can use while we are teaching our students at the classroom level, and then later on we will talk about the teaching strategies at the clinical setting at the hospital at clinical level. So there are various methods use teaching strategies which we can use when we are teaching at classroom level. And when the environment is a class, when we are taking some theoretical portion of the topic. And among them, we have the brainstorming, the case-based small group discussion, computer simulation, demonstration, game, independent study, large group discussion, which we can also call as the Q&A session, the question and answer session, lecture presentation, role play, and self-awareness. जितनी भी methodologies हैं या teaching strategies हैं, इनमें जो सबसे commonly use होती हैं इसमें ये case-based small group discussion, large group discussion, or most commonly that is the lecture presentation. तो normally undergrad students को जब हम teaching करते हैं वहाँ पर हम PowerPoint presentation पे यूजुअली अपने लेक्चर जो है अन्य प्रोजेक्ट उनको प्रेजेंट करते हैं. सो इसी वजह से हम इंशाल्लाह इस लेक्चर में हम ब्रीफली एक को डिस्कस करेंगे, लेकिन इसमें जो लेक्चर है या PowerPoint प्रेजेंटेशन है इस पर हम थोड़ी सी फिर अलग एक सेशन में बात करेंगे कि अगर 1 घंटे का लेक्चर हमने PowerPoint प्रेजेंटेशन में लेना है, सो हाउ वी कैन प्रिपेयर और स्लाइड किस तरह की जो है स्लाइड होनी चाहिए, किस तरह की नहीं होनी चाहिए, और एक क्लास को 1 घंटे तक उसमें क्या क्या कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, क्या क्या करना हमें चाहिए, तो जिस पर इंशाल्लाह हम डिटेल में बात करेंगे. इस सेशन में, इस लेक्चर में हम सिर्फ इन जितनी भी ये मेथोडोलॉजीज हैं कि शॉर्ट से हम इसकी इंट्रो देंगे, उसके हम एडवांटेजेस पर बात करेंगे और उसके बाद जो है हम बात करेंगे उसकी डिसएडवांटेजेस, और फिर हम कुछ टैक्टिक्स भी करेंगे कि जिसके पर हम अमल करके जो है वी कैन हैव सक्सेसफुल टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी इन आवर स्टूडेंट्स. तो सबसे पहले जो है हम बात करेंगे ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग का. तो ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग जो है एक ऐसी ग्रुप डिस्कशन आप कह सकते हैं, एक ऐसी प्रोसीजर होती है कि जिसमें जो टीचर होता है, जो डेमोस्ट्रेटर होता है, वो अपने स्टूडेंट्स को एक टॉपिक जो है प्रेजेंट करता है. टॉपिक दिया जाए, उनका नाम बताता है. सपोज today we will talk about the hip joints, or we will talk about the types of joints, supposing they are. अब ये एक टॉपिक जो है जो अपने स्टूडेंट्स को प्रेजेंट करेगा, ये एक प्रॉब्लम भी हो सकती है, एक जनरल टॉपिक भी हो सकती है, एक क्वेश्चन भी हो सकती है, यानी दिस जनरल जिसमें जो है. और फिर क्या होता है कि हर एक स्टूडेंट को क्या होता है कि उनमें आप उनको छोटे छोटे ग्रुप में डिवाइड करते हैं और उनसे फिर एक एक की आप ओपिनियन जो है सुनते हैं, और हर एक बंदा जो है अपनी नॉलेज के मुताबिक उस पॉइंट पर, उस टॉपिक पर, उस प्रॉब्लम पर जो है वो क्वेश्चन पर आप आंसर देते हैं. लेकिन यहाँ पर एक पॉइंट जरूरी है कि जो टीचर होता है वो जब तक तमाम के तमाम आइडियाज, जब तक तमाम जो ओपिनियंस हैं वो खत्म नहीं होते, किसी भी पॉइंट पर वो जजमेंट नहीं देगा, यानी फीडबैक नहीं देगा कि यस यू आर राइट, यू आर रॉन्ग. हर एक को केयरफुल सुनेगा, बिकॉज यहाँ पे जो पॉइंट नेसेसरी ये है कि द टीचर जो है उसको केयरफुली सबको जो है तवज्जो से सुनना चाहिए और सुनना पड़ेगा उसको, ताकि उनको एक इंकरेजमेंट हो तो नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट। तो जब सब तमाम स्टूडेंट की ओपिनियंस आ जाए तो यहाँ पर भी क्या करेगा, एज ए टीचर जो है ये इन तमाम ओपिनियंस को समराइज करके उसको एनालिसिस करेगा और फिर उसमें से ये डिस्कस करेगा कि कौन कौन सी ओपिनियन जो है, आइडियाज जो है, ये दे आर रॉन्ग एंड विच दे आर द राइट, without identifying that this student was present with the right answer or which student जो है they presented the wrong option। तो इसमें ये होगा कि जनरली फिर बात की होगी कि ये जो है ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी जनरली अपना अपना ओपिनियन भी देगा और इन राइट ओपिनियन से फिर ये क्या करेगा, एक बेस्ट सोल्यूशन, एक बेस्ट आंसर जो है एक ये जो है निकालेगा उसका और फिर उसको जो स्टूडेंट के साथ शेयर करेगा। इसका जो मेन कंसेप्ट है, उसका फायदा क्या है इसका, एक तो ये है कि स्टूडेंट जो है खुद उस टॉपिक पर थोड़ा सा वो सोच लेते हैं, उनमें थोड़ा सा उनको सोचने का मौका दिया जाता है। एंड सेकेंडली उसमें उनको पता चल जाता है कि अगर एक स्टूडेंट जो है उनके कंसेप्ट, उनके जहन में एक कंसेप्ट है अबाउट सम टॉपिक और फिर वो अपना ओपिनियन जो है प्रेजेंट कर देता है और उस ओपिनियन उसके बाद टीचर्स उसको कहते हैं कि गलत साबित हो जाता है, तो उसको पता चल जाता है कि एक इसको एक इनडायरेक्ट फीडबैक मिल जाता है कि आई वाज ऑन द रॉन्ग साइड। तो ये जो है स्टेप्स होते हैं कि सबको एक क्वेश्चन, एक प्रोसेस दिया जाता है और फिर मल्टीपल आइडियाज जो है ये गैदर की जाते हैं और वहाँ पे जजमेंट जो है दैट इज बीइंग सस्पेंडेड टिल until the end of the all the session, until the maximum number of ideas that be generated, or when there is after the generation of the ideas, all the options, all the ideas, all the opinions and answers, they are analyzed, and then a best solution is identified from that, and then the execution of the plan is being conducted in front of the students. So if we talk about the advantages of this brainstorming, as we discussed in the previous slide, that in this type of methodology, students they are involved actively, उनकी जो थिंकिंग है वो यूटिलाइज होती है, उनकी जो हायर लेवल ऑफ थिंकिंग जो है इन्वॉल्व उसमें होती है। सो विच और इसके अलावा जो है इसमें क्योंकि ग्रुप वाइज स्टडी होती है, ये स्टडीज जो होती है उसमें ग्रुप लेवल होती है, इसलिए उनमें जो एक जज्बा है वो पीर लर्निंग जो है, यानी लर्निंग एंड डिस्कशन इन ग्रुप जो है ये उसमें आ जाता है और इसमें जो है एनर्जी आ जाती है, उसमें जो है जो लर्निंग से एनर्जी है और एज अ ग्रुप टीम वर्क जो उसमें आ जाती है। And as we know that when there is involvement of the higher level of thinking, so obviously it will also promote the critical thinking। और जब इसकी critical thinking जब इसकी promote होगी तो then there are a lot of other benefits of critical thinking, just like we can see on the right side in the diagram, when the critical thinking is promoted, when the critical thinking is involved, so it helps in the improvement of the decision making, it enhances the problem solving ability, it refines the students' research skills, it polishes the creativity, the skills in them, and it also stimulates the curiosity in them. So we can say that the brainstorming is indirectly all these options, all these benefits। तो ये critical thinking की benefits है क्योंकि brainstorming जो है और critical thinking को promote करता है और critical thinking जो है इसके benefits ये हैं, तो we can say that brainstorming की जो है ये सारे benefits ये indirect benefits। और फिर इसमें जो लास्ट it also helps the group reach a consensus as there will be agreement, though there will be disagreement as well, but there will be an agreement on the last of the years। So ओवरऑल जो है ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग की बहुत सारी जो है बेनिफिट्स हैं, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड देयर आर सम डिसएडवांटेजेस आप दिस स्ट्रेटजी। सबसे इसमें ये होता है कि अगर स्टूडेंट्स जो है दे आर लार्ज इन नंबर तो फिर जो है थोड़े से मुश्किल हो जाता है उसको हैंडल करना। लेकिन इसकी एक सोल्यूशन ये है कि वी कैन फर्दर सब डिवाइडेड द क्लास इन सब ग्रुप्स। सपोज वी हैव 60 स्टूडेंट्स and in brainstorming mostly the students number of students जो है that may be between 6 to 8 or maximum it can be 10 and not more than that. So we can say that if there are 60 students in a class, तो हम उनको 6 ग्रुप में जो है डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, जिसमें हर एक ग्रुप में they will be 10 students. और फिर जो है जो टीचर जो है उसको हर एक ग्रुप को एक अलग अलग टॉपिक या सेम टॉपिक दे देता है, उससे उनकी एक 15 मिनट उसको दे देता है, फिर नेक्स्ट ग्रुप की तरफ चले, फिर नेक्स्ट ग्रुप, तो इट विल टेक ऑलमोस्ट 1.5 आवर के जिसमें से जो है इन सब की जो है जो लास्ट 30 मिनट जो प्योर सेशन जो है ये फिर अपना ओपिनियन और ये जजमेंट और फीडबैक जो है ये दे दे, तो ये भी एक सोल्यूशन उसकी हो सकती है. बट another thing which is actually that can lead to group think एक ऐसे कंसेप्ट होती है, हम इसको इस तरह एलाबोरेट कर सकते हैं कि जिसमें बंदे की जो है अपनी सोच जो है वो अक्सर उसको सप्रेस रखते हैं, और बाकी जो दूसरा बंदा कहता है कि इस तरह है तो वो भी उसको हाँ में लाता है. तो फिर वो क्या कहते हैं कि मैं अगर एक ये कह रहा हूँ और 4 बंदी जो है दूसरे ऑप्शन की तरफ जा रहे हैं, तो मैं भी जो है उसकी तरफ ये अपना ऑप्शन छोड़ के उसकी तरफ जाऊंगा. तो इस ये जो है कि विन ब्लाइंडली जो है ये उनकी तरफ चला जाएगा जो ज्यादा ओपिनियन रखते हैं. सपोज देयर आर 8 स्टूडेंट्स इन अ ग्रुप, और 8 में से सपोज 7 और 6 जो है और एक ओपिनियन पर है एंड 1 and 2 देयर आर अदर ओपिनियन. सो जब इनको दोबारा कहा जाए कि आर यू श्योर, तो समटाइम्स दे आर थिंकिंग कि 6 or 7 they are on one side mean that major student number of course they are on the other side, so I think they are on the right side. So ये अपना अपने छोटी की तरफ चला जाओ कि yes they are right and I'm the wrong. So ये जो एक concept इसमें ये हो सकता है कि इसमें ये it can develop into that group thing. इसके अलावा जो है this brainstorming did also require that learners discipline their input to the discussion. और इसमें अपनी जो एक इनपुट है ये हर एक की जरूरी होता है कि जिसमें अगर एक बंदा अपना इनपुट नहीं देता तो फिर क्या होगा, ऑब्वियसली दे विल एम्बेरस बिटवीन द स्टूडेंट्स. सो मैंडेटरी है कि हर एक स्टूडेंट जो है इसमें अपना आइडिया जो है ये पेश करेगी. सो नाउ एज अ टीचर हाउ हम इसको किस तरह जो है कामयाब कर सकते हैं इस ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग को. सो ड्यूरिंग this brainstorming the teacher should use to stimulate thinking, creativity, inquiry, and consensus. And as a teacher, do not use the method when there is only one or two possible correct responses, as obviously all of them there will be on one side. There will be no such discussion. Suppose there is a question that uh, what is the example? The topic is the type of joint and the hip joint, and the question is which type of joint is the hip joint. So there is basic one answer and right answer and easy question. इस तरह की जो टॉपिक जो है ये प्रेजेंट नहीं करनी चाहिए जिसमें या तो उसका आंसर बहुत इजी हो या उसका जो डिस्कशन के लिए उसमें पॉइंट्स कम हो, या जो है दैट इज वेरी शॉर्ट आंसर, तो इसमें डिबेट की चांस ना हो. तो ये जो है उस क्वेश्चन स्टडी के लिए जो है फिर ये जो है एप्रोप्रिएट स्ट्रेटजी नहीं है. Provide clear instruction for how the process works, discipline method, and that's why before start of this strategy, the teachers should have some instruction to the students and ensure that participants adhere to the rules. Why this is important? Because if there is large group and the teachers they will be involved in a single group at a single time, so what other group will be doing? So this is one of that disadvantages as well. But the teachers can involve in just they have to listen what they are saying. So इस तरह जो है वो कर सकते हैं कि वो पहले से रूल बना ले और फिर इनको ये भी सिखाए कि how that will have to adhere to the rules. So discipline जो है ये बहुत जरूरी है. अगर if there is no discipline, if there is violation of rule, so obviously जो है then they will be very difficult to control the class and there will be no such हम उससे जो हमारे एक्टिविटीज है हमारे जो गोल है ये हम अचीव नहीं कर सकें. So that was as group discussion of the brainstorming. Next is the case-based small group discussion, which is similar to the brainstorming. But the main thing is that यहाँ पे जो topic होगा usually that is a complex topic, and that is a problem. And mostly this case-based small group discussion जो है ये हम higher level students जो suppose हम अगर suppose DPT के students करा रहे हैं, so that maybe in their third, fourth or final year. इस तरह अगर हम जो है ये अपने नर्सिंग स्टूडेंट्स करा रहे हैं, so that maybe in the final year, in the third year, in the in base may we can say that it may be up to the basic years, the basic sciences है, in the clinical sciences में third year, fourth year and final year में हम ये कर सकते हैं. लेकिन जो brainstorming है, that may be applicable to the initial semester, that may be into the first semester, second semester, or maybe in the last semester. तो this case based small group discussion में होता ये है कि सिमिलरिटी जस्ट लाइक द ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग, छोटे छोटे ग्रुप जो है बनाए जाते हैं 5-10 स्टूडेंट्स के, और फिर उसको एक प्रॉब्लम दी जाती है और उस प्रॉब्लम जो है फिर वो उसकी सोल्यूशन निकालते हैं बाय म्यूचुअल डिस्कशन. इसमें ये होता है कि क्लास जो है उसको ग्रुप में डिवाइड किया जाता है और हर एक को एक नई नई प्रॉब्लम जो है अलग अलग प्रॉब्लम दी जाती है और ऑल ऑफ देम जो है फिर दे हैव टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम, और व्हेन दे रीच द सॉल्यूशन सो दे विल डिस्कस विद देयर टीचर. सो इन प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड लर्निंग जो है इसको भी पीबीएल भी कहा जाता है, कि जिसमें लर्निंग जो है इनको एक टास्क दिया जाता है, ये प्रॉब्लम दिया जाता है और या उस प्रॉब्लम पर ओपन सोल्यूशन निकालते हैं. तो सोल्यूशन जो है फिर या इस तरह की होता है कि सेम प्रॉब्लम इज बिन provided to all the groups, and every group have to reach to their final solution. तो अपना सोल्यूशन सबमिट कर देते हैं, फिर टीचर्स हैव टू डिस्कस ऑन द सोल्यूशन और फिर उसको हमें दिखा जाए कि व्हिच वन इज द बेस्ट सोल्यूशन. So actually this type of learning is known as the problem based learning, which is a actual learning होती है जिसमें से स्टूडेंट जो है उनकी एक्टिव इन्वॉल्वमेंट होती है, अनलाइक द लेक्चर प्रेजेंटेशन मेथोडोलॉजी जो आगे डिस्कस करेंगे. दिस इज वन ऑफ द टाइप वी कैन से दैट द पेसिव लर्निंग, जिसमें सिर्फ टीचर इन्वॉल्व होता है, टीचर सिर्फ बातें करता रहता है, टीचर टीचिंग करता रहता है, एंड स्टूडेंट्स दे हैव जस्ट टू ऑब्जर्व एंड लिसन. सो दैट इज द पेसिव लर्निंग. So in problem-based learning, the problems come first. Obviously, that is the start of this strategy. And then learners work through the problem through progressive disclosure by making hypotheses, exploring mechanisms, developing, researching learning issues, and applying new information to the case. And at the end, then they conclude and reach to a solution, and then they submit the solution to the supervisor, to the teacher, to the demonstrator. So, अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें इसकी प्रोसेस क्या होती है कि इस ग्रुप डिस्कशन का, कि सबसे पहले जो है टॉपिक अनाउंस किया जाता है और टॉपिक अनाउंस के बाद उनको फिर कुछ टाइम दिया जाता है कि यू हैव 10 to 15 मिनट्स. एनी सोर्स आप इंटरनेट यूज कर सकते हैं, बुक देख सकते हैं, आर्टिकल्स दे सकते हैं, ब्लॉग दे सकते हैं, किसी भी जगह से आप जो है इनको ले सकते हैं. सो प्रिपरेशन टाइम दिया जाता है. जब इनको एक टाइम दिया जाता है एंड दे हैव टू सर्च द सॉल्यूशन फॉर द प्रॉब्लम व्हिच इज बीन अनाउंस्ड. एंड द थर्ड स्टेप, देन देयर इज लीड स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन फॉलोड बाय अदर पार्टिसिपेंट, जिसमें ग्रुप होते हैं ना, हर ग्रुप एक लीडर फिर बनाया जाता है. तो ग्रुप लीडर जो है फिर अपना डिस्कशन करता है, लेकिन ये जो डिस्कशन लीडर करता है ये मोस्टली ऑल ऑफ देम दे हैव कंसेंसस एंड दे हैव एग्रीमेंट एंड दैट सिंगल सॉल्यूशन. तो फिर एक बंदे को कहा जाता है कि यू हैव टू स्पीक. इसके बाद जो है इस जितनी भी ग्रुप डिस्कशन होती है, ज्यूरी जो है इसकी समराइजेशन होती है. हर एक ग्रुप ने अपना अपना ओपिनियन दिया होता है, सो टीचर सबको समराइज करता है और फिर लास्ट में जो है जजमेंट होती है इंडिविजुअल परफॉर्मेंस की. और इसमें ये फिर होता है कि कौन सा सोल्यूशन जो है सही है, कौन सा जो है इसमें देयर इज नीड ऑफ मॉडिफिकेशन, और कौन सा जो है देयर इज अ रॉन्ग कांसेप्ट. इसमें ये होता है कि स्टूडेंट या लर्नर जो है उसको एक प्रॉब्लम का इजी से इजी सॉल्यूशन जो है और एक प्रिसाइज से प्रिसाइज सॉल्यूशन जो है मिल जाते हैं थ्रू दिस ग्रुप डिस्कशन. अब इसमें जो है जितनी भी ग्रुप डिस्कशन है इसका बहुत बड़ा असर होता है स्टूडेंट्स पर. इसमें सबसे पहले तो ये होता है कि लीडरशिप क्वालिटी क्रिएट करता है. It also promotes to have the body language. It also promotes a positive behavior in this. It also promotes that teamwork, how to work in a team, how to be a responsible member of the team, and then it also promotes the listening skills, as if, there will be three, four, up to 8, 9, 10 groups in a class, and every leader of the group, he or she will just present their problem, their solution, their answer, their opinion, and all of the students that will listen. So obviously, it's enhance the listening skills. So overall, it's a very good strategy, but this strategy is mostly applicable uh, in the advanced years. We can also apply this strategy at the initial semester, but the main thing is that the topic will be a problem, not a general topic. So what are the advantages of this case-based group, small group discussion? जिसको सिंपली जो है कहा जाता है, इस जीडी भी कहा जाता है, जो अक्सर जो है बहुत कॉमनली यूज होती है, इस जीडी विच नोन एज द स्मॉल ग्रुप डिस्कशन. इसका अपोजिट जो है, दिस इज द लार्ज ग्रुप डिस्कशन, जिसमें क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन भी जो है क्यूए सेशन भी कहा जाता है. So the advantages of this SGD or smart group discussion are that in this strategy, the students they are actually involved. The participants होते हैं, जो learners होते हैं, जो students होते हैं, ये actually involved होते हैं, and it stimulates the peer group learning, just like we discussed in the brainstorming. It also helps to participate in help the participant to explore their pre-existing knowledge and build on what they know. Obviously, they have some knowledge about the problem, so they will present them. So it helps the participant to explore the pre-existing knowledge. It also facilitates exchange of ideas and awareness of mutual concerns. It promotes development of critical thinking skills. It develops the leadership, teamwork, communication, and collaboration skills. And it promotes the high level of thinking, which indicates at the ब्लूम टेक्सोनॉमी के जो कॉग्निटिव लेवल था, उसकी जो लास्ट थ्री हमारे सब डोमेन थे, that is application, synthesis, and evaluation. There are total 6 domain of the Bloom taxonomy cognitive domain. स्टार्ट में हमने कहा था कि there is remembering है, फिर understanding है, फिर application है. अब ये जो remembering है and understanding है या comprehension है, ये जो है ये these are the low level of thinking. These are the basic initial with a very simple answers, yeah, very simple concept. But on the other hand, the application, the synthesis, evaluation, to creativity, these all are the involve the higher level of thinking. So somehow many of the statements they are similar to the brainstorming and the case-based small group discussion, but we have also discussed the difference between these two groups in the previous slide. Some disadvantages of the ECD, there are, it can potentially degenerate into up-task or social conversation. And this is very important. We discussed in the previous methodology for the brainstorming, that discipline is very important. If there is violation of rule, so there will be too much discussion, which will be abstract discussion, and then it will be very difficult to control them. So that is a very highly potential disadvantage of this SGD. There the students that may be degenerate into up task or the abstract discussion or social conversation. Similarly, it can be a challenge to ensure participation by all, especially in larger group. Might be some of the students they may have their legs in the participation, which again create problems and which will again creates inequality. So that is a disadvantage of this SUD, and not only SUD, but also we discussed it as a problem with the brainstorming. It can be frustrating for the participants, for the learners, when they are at significantly different levels of knowledge and skills. So suppose if a group which contains 6 students and all of them they are really genius. But on the other hand, there is a group, and that group have average, or most of them, they are the low level of learning. They are not so genius. They are lower than average student. So obviously, there will be difference between the idea they generated, between the solution they generated. So there may have some conflicts, and there may some yet contradiction between their discussion, and this may be a source of frustration between the learners, between the students. Similarly, it can be unpredictable in terms of outcomes. Obviously, there may be a lot of different outcomes at the end. So it may be that is one of the problems which the teachers they need to handle this problem. Similarly, it increases the potential for interpersonal conflicts because this is a group discussion. So there may be some conflicts between the learners. So if there is your rules and their adherence to the rules, and the teacher have to work on the discipline, and the teacher help to avoid any violation of the rule. So then such a disadvantage and problems that can be handled very easily and successfully, and can be time consuming obviously, because as we discussed in the previous slide, initially when there is announcement of the topic, then a time is provided to prepare for the solution, and then each group have to present their idea, and the teacher have to listen, the remaining group will have to listen, and each group have to present their opinion, and the teacher have to listen and then judge, and then have a summarization of all the opinions. So, as a teacher, what we can do to make it a very good strategy and to make it a successful strategy. So सबसे पहले चीज ये है कि जो फैकल्टी इन्वॉल्व होती हैं इन सच इनिशिएटिव में, so there should be very trained. So use trained faculty as student representative to effectively manage group dynamics, because if there is no such discipline, so obviously then it will create problems which will be difficult to control for students. Similarly, help the group address conflict in a constructive and a very positive way, and all the conflicts should be resolved mutually. Ensure seating arrangement that facilitate discussion, that as we are having that in diagram, that is a group discussion round table in which they have to face each other, they have to discuss with each other. So there should be an environment for the group discussion. Create safe environment for learners to participate, ask questions and make mistake without sanction. ये बहुत जरूरी है कि अगर हम किसी ग्रुप से क्वेश्चन करते सोल्यूशन मांगते हैं और फिर वो गलत सोल्यूशन देते हैं, तो देयर शुड बी नो पेनल्टी अगेंस्ट देम, बिकॉज इफ अगर उनको पता लग जाता है कि अगर मैंने गलत आंसर दे दिया, सो टीचर हैव टू हैव सम पनिशमेंट, may know some punishment for me, there may be some sanction against me. So होगा क्या कि he will unable to express yourself easily, and अगर आप उसको कहें कि if there is any mistake, it's okay, no problem, mistake can happen, and there will be no sanction against these, there will be not some penalty. If they don't have any penalty for their mistakes, so they can easily express and easily communicate what they want to say and what is in their mind. ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है कि उनको इंकरेज किया जाता है कि आप जो भी आपके जहन में है आप बोलें, तो उसके क्या होगा, तो बेनिफिट क्या होगा कि without any hesitation to have, they will express their thoughts, they will express their ideas. So create safe environment for learners to participate, to ask questions and to make mistakes without sanctions. For groups meeting regularly, your opinion can establish the ground rules. Again, discipline as we are discussing in such cases, if it is a brainstorming, if it is the CD, EGD, ground rules are the instructions, are the discipline that is very important. The next one is the computer simulation, which is very important, specifically in the higher level studies and the medical studies. That is very important. So in the medical context, used to teach specific examination, procedural and data interpretation skills, and effects of drugs and information in a realistic situation without endangering the patient. Computer simulation means to use some models which look like the real patients, and as the students they are learning, so there is a high chance of mistake. So that's why we can't endanger the patients. So that is one of the best. If the demonstrator they are explaining some examination skill, they are examining some procedure skills with them. So it will there will as that will be a dummy, it will be a model, so there will be no such problem. There will be nothing wrong if they do, because that will be not a real patient. So that's they can help and I will easy learning. So many may use highly realistic computerized journeys, and implying medical simulation teaching can help more medical training from old C1 do one teach one method into a C1 practice P1 model of success. C1 का मतलब ये है जैसे एक होता है ना कि आप देखें और फिर इसको करें और फिर इसको जो है teach one जो है ये एक procedure which was the old concept and old pattern, and nowadays when we have a computerized series and a medical simulation, so there is they can practice again and again, and many can practice on a single journey. So C1 practice many and T1, which is they have very benefits in the learning of some critical and procedure skills. These are the some of the models, and you can say that the simulations are the so this is the intravenous inversion arm. So all of them, they should be present at different school, specifically such sciences in which involve the health sciences like if it is the nursing, if there is the MBBS, BDS, or if it is the DPT, as they all are involved directly with the patient. So such journeys and such simulation they are must and they should be present at the clinical labs. But most of them they are very expensive, specifically those which are computerly operated, which are computerized. They have a lot of options. They have a very benefits, but they're not very costly as well. So the advantages of this simulation that we can portray a realistic situation without endangering the patient, allows for the focused learning that eliminates irrelevant aspects, can be used when real experience are not really available or would endanger patient, provides immediate feedback. और इसमें फिर जो मेथड्स होता है जो हाउ टू डेमोस्ट्रेट, तो ऑल ऑफ यू रिमेम्बर हमने प्रीवियस लेक्चर जब लिया था जब हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे साइकोमोटर डोमेन का, तो उसमें हमने कहा था कि देयर आर 4 सब डोमेन ऑफ द साइकोमोटर डोमेन। तो ये जो सिमुलेशन यूज करने में वही 4 डोमेन यूज होते हैं कि सबसे पहले जो है इस डमी को या इस सिमुलेशन को जो डेमोस्ट्रेटर है जो टीचर है वो इस पर सिखाएगा, and all the learners, all the students, they will observe what the teacher is doing. That is the P1. What was the P2? Then the teacher will observe and the students will do what they learned in the previous session. That will be the P2. There will be high chances of errors. There will be high incidence of errors, but the demonstrator, the teachers will correct them directly. There will be immediate feedback to them. No, this is the wrong way. No, this is the yes, you are right. Go on. Proceed on. इस तरह की जो direct feedback है, ये इसकी learning को और भी encourage करेगा to learn more and more. P3 में फिर क्या होगा कि they will practice again. There will be less chances of error, but still there may be some error. They are not experts on that, but they will practice again and again. But they will be not direct presence of that demonstrator that teach. So there will be no direct feedback. They will be post event feedback हो सकती है, but they will be making up the immediate in event feedback. So that is eventually the P3 and P4 है that will be featured ये completely export हो जाते हैं. Then there is unit of supervision. Then there is very rare chances of in error, and even they can teach the others, uh, and they can also have to, to heal real patients. And after the P3, they will use the demi patient. So in the P2 and P3, there is both supervision, but in the P2 there is direct supervision, and in the P2 there is indirect supervision. So this actually then the proper way to use this computer simulation are the general simulation, not the different simulation for the fit skills for the examinations. Similarly, teaching with the simulation, it has some other benefits like uh, practicing hands-on and invisible procedures can be easily provided to the learners through these demos. Continuing and repeated practice, they will be there, and they will practice it again and again and again until there is elimination of the error, and when they completely understand the procedure. So the ability to allow errors to continue to their natural conclusions, as we discussed in the previous slide. Risk to patient and learners are avoided. This is one of the best and one of the good benefit advantage of this simulation, that the patients are not in danger. Undesirable interference is reduced. The opportunity for the same scenario to be assessed by multiple students providing similar learning opportunities, and planning clinical cases based on student needs rather than patient's availability, as there will be no dependency on the patient. So for any case they can discuss as they will have the domain in their life. Exposure to rare and complex clinical situations can be only possible through these domains. And as they are not experts, they are just learners. So if here is a complex clinical situation, so कभी भी डेमोस्ट्रेटर टीचर जो है ये रिस्क नहीं लेगा कि डायरेक्टली जो है लर्नर्स को इस तरह की कॉम्प्लेक्स पेशेंट की जो है उसको उनको प्रैक्टिस किया जाए, which is again unethical as well as it is to have moral जो है ये सही नहीं है. And retention and accuracy are increased as there is high chance of feedback by those demonstrators. Similarly, and on the other hand, there are so many advantages of this method of teaching, this strategy, this methodology, but there may be some problems with that. There is the number of simulations. It means if there is one journey, one patient, demi patient, one model, one simulation, and if the number is 60, so how that will handle. So providing that appropriate number of means required number of models and simulation to the small group of these students, that may be very costly. So that is, but they can be handled if they are arranged in groups. That suppose they are 60 students and there are two different simulations. So they can have practice this session. They have this session on alternate days, 15 students on one, 15 on the other, while the 30 will have some another strategy of another teacher will handle them. And then on the next day, they will exchange of the strategy. The students which were in the classroom, they will be there on the practice and the dummy, and then they will be involved in the another strategy. So ये फिर एक हो सकता है, but obviously providing the appropriate number that may be very costly. And even somehow, sometimes जो है एक single simulation can be traced to the simulation होती है, ये भी very costly जो है हो सकती है. Limits number of people who can access the learning at the same time, as we discussed, that if there are large numbers, that is very difficult to handle them, to have practice on that single journey. They create scheduling and logistic challenges. But if there is planning and if uh, there is timetable and there is arrangement so that this problem can be easily handled by the demonstrator and by the managers. So how we can overcome these all these disadvantages? So choose learning objectives that involve hands-on experience and that are the best learned first in a way other than through the direct patient contact. Use faculty design to teach using simulation to facilitate the experience and provide feedback. So this will be the new topic demonstration. This method simply involve uh, just we can say that the key one, then the students they will just observe and the demonstrator he will she will execute the procedure and all of them will they just observe. So that simple procedure is known as the demonstration. So performing an activity so that learners can observe how it is done in order to help prepare learner to transfer theory to practical application that is known as the demonstration. So what are the advantages of this strategy? This methodology they help people who learn well by modeling others. But on the other hand, it may be a disadvantages we will discuss later that those who are a bad observer, so इनके लिए ये जो है एक अच्छा way of teaching जो है नहीं है वो जो है they are good listeners but they are not good observer so फिर इनके लिए थोड़ा सा इसमें जो है learning problem हो जाएगी. So help people who learn well by modeling others, promote self-confidence, provide opportunity for the targeted question and answer, and this strategy that allows attention to be focused on specific details rather than general theories. What the disadvantage can be with this type of teaching methodology is of limited value for people who do not learn best by observing others, as we discussed in the previous slide. Some students, if they are good listeners, but they are not the good observers, ये उनके लिए जो है एक वेरिएबल है उनके लिए इनपुट जो है नहीं है तो देयर मे बी प्रॉब्लम फॉर द these teachers. May not be educated for the different learning rates of the participant as we know that in every class there are every level of students genius very beauty below average beauty. So इन सबको एक ही तरीके से एक ही जो है पैटर्न से अगर एक डेमोस्ट्रेशन दी जाती है सो मैं भी तमाम के तमाम चीज को एक तरीके से एक रेट से जो है उसको कैच ना कर सके एक रेट से उसको ऑब्जर्व ना कर सके so that's why the demonstration should be repeated again and again especially for those जो थोड़ी सी वीक है और डिलीवरी से नीचे है उनको जो है सेपरेटली जो है दोबारा से जो है इनको डेमोस्ट्रेशन होनी चाहिए और इनको ये डेमोस्ट्रेशन बार बार 3-4 टाइम रिपीट करनी चाहिए उनको प्रैक्टिस करनी चाहिए उनको जो है डायरेक्ट सुपरविजन जरूरी है. अब इसको किस तरह हम कर सकते हैं एज अ टीचर if we have some weak student so we should have the direct supervision for them. We have to repeat the procedure again for them. We have to gather them in a group. अगर हम इस तरह करेंगे कि उसको जो है एक वीक स्टूडेंट से और उसको हम जो है बाकी अच्छी स्टूडेंट्स जो है जीन स्टूडेंट से उनकी तरफ ग्रुप में कर लेते हैं तो हम उनको एक टीचर पे लेते हैं फिर द एंड ऑफ द फर्स्ट बिकॉज वो तो टिक जाते हैं तो ये वाला बंदा जो वीक होगा इसको प्रैक्टिस करने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा. तो या तो इस तरह के एनवायरनमेंट जो है बनाना चाहिए डिसिप्लिन इस तरह बनाना चाहिए कि हर एक ग्रुप में देयर शुड बी जीनियस देयर शुड बी वीक एंड वीक स्टूडेंट. So these students who अच्छे हैं थोड़ी स्टडी academically they will help these they will teach them because वो अच्छी तरह से ऑब्जर्व कर जाते हैं they will learn it. इनको जो है फिर ये सिखाएंगे so they can carry them to learn parallel with them. ये एक हो सकता है अगर इस तरह का डिसिप्लिन नहीं है तो फिर ये हो सकता है कि there should be some specific attention towards these students. उनके लिए जो है अलग से रिपीटेशन होनी चाहिए, डायरेक्ट सुपरविजन होनी चाहिए, उनका फीडबैक होना चाहिए और उनको उस वक्त तक जो है सुपरवाइज करना प्रैक्टिस लग किया जाता है अंतिम जो है दे लर्न प्रॉपर्ली. So another disadvantage of this demonstration is it required that the demonstrator have specialized expertise to apply the clinical principle and more. So how we can make it a very successful strategy? So first of all, be able to do well what you want to demonstrate. Preparation is must. If the demonstrator is still confused in many aspects of that topic, so obviously that will be not a good environment for learning. So mostly the demonstrator should be a very expertise and senior, which have years of experience in that subject. Carefully plan the demonstration. Keep the demonstration simple and explanation through enough to meet your objectives. Augment demonstration with other visual aids, like there may be the 3D animation, there may be videos, there may be some models, there may be some simple lectures as well. Give learners an opportunity to practice what has been demonstrated, and if there is no practice and practice hands-on practice, so the students they will just learn just by observation. So there may be some opportunity for them to train, specifically those who are not a good observer. उनको जो है जैसे हमने कहा कि उनको बार बार जो है डिस्कस भी करना चाहिए, रिपीट भी करना चाहिए और उनको जो है उनको बार बार प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए. That was enough for this. We will discuss this again in the next session. Thank you so much for allowing.